Hello and welcome to another Sister A video. We're going to be starting our home page. But at the top of this assignment in week 2 of the block class, it's having us check out each one of these HTML concepts. So make sure that you click on them and check out the information that is included. One of the resources we use a lot is W3 Schools, which is this section or right here. So make sure that you mark it somewhere. It's a great one to have, even after you become more skilled at this. All right, so next in line there is going to be this video that I'm creating. I always try to make those videos available at the beginning of each week to help you with whatever we're working on. Okay, this next part, step 1, if you completed the software setup activity, you should have already made this file. And if you didn't, make sure you create it. Make sure that it's the same as what you see here, and I have already done that. This is a real important part here. It says make sure that when you name files, and the index is a file, the CSS is a file, when you name them, always use lowercase letters. The wireframe, and this is important because we're going to check the lumps or the blocks of information, see what goes with what. All right, so keeping in mind, we're going to have 3 sections, a header and a footer. The 3 sections, or 2 of the 3 sections, are going to be divided into a left side and a right side. Certain information will go on the left, certain information will go on the right. The square with an X through it is denoting that an image will be there, and a headline and paragraph of English, not of Latin placeholders, will go on the other side. Notice section 3 does not have a left and right, and the footer, again like the others, will have a left and right in it. We do something totally different up here in the header. So first of all, we're going to work on the main portion of this. And it's telling you that we're going to lay the groundwork. Well, the groundwork is like what we're doing right here. These are the stepping stones for our page. And in step 4, it says it's like building a house, which is true. You start with a blueprint, which is your wireframe, and then you build a foundation and frame the house out using HTML, head, body, and some of the elements above. Framing takes the rooms outlined in the blueprints and creates real space to put them in. So this page is basically going to be set up in a particular way. And I know you might have some ideas for doing it a different way, but we're going to do it this way. And if you stray from what we're doing, then what will happen is when I go to grade at the end of a week, you will not have accomplished the items that were in that assignment. This page we're doing together as a class. The other 2 pages you're going to create on your own. Ooh, scary. All right, so now it's saying we're going to use some of these tags to make the rest of the page. It's telling you to look at this link here about semantics, which is pretty important. So make sure you check that out. So now we're going to add that left and right element into our code that we have. So I'm going to scoot down, give us some space to work. All right, the very first thing it does is, as you can see, it's showing main. Well, if you have a header, then the next part of the body would be the main part of the body. the center part of it. So we're going to name it main after the end of the header. Now notice it always jumps and gives you the ending tag, which is a good thing, and we're going to space that down so we have room to work. And the next thing over here, it's saying, well, this is the first section that we're going to do. Then it's going to have us do a div, and this part's going to be for the left content. So it's having us set it up right here so we don't forget what things are going to be left and what things are going to be right. So for now, I'm just going to, this is just the first section. I'm going to take and copy this whole first section, and I'm going to paste it over here. And it's telling you this is the first row of the left column. This in between here and here is the first row of the right column. That is the first section. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other parts. And if you come down just a little bit, and we're going to add the next section and the third section. We're going to do that all at one time. And I like a little bit of space in between so I can keep my, and it's okay to do this. It's not going to mess anything up to keep your sections separated. So this right here is section 3. It doesn't have any of those separating divs. The next part here, it's showing how to set up the footer. And you know one thing that's good about the copy paste? As long as you're careful with it, what it does is it keeps you from making added mistakes by typing. Now, if you want the experience of typing things in, by all means, go ahead. But you're going to have plenty to type in, trust me. All right, so we've got our items inside. Oops, I made a mistake here. The main. The main's got to end before the footer. There we go. Alrighty, now we're going to continue adding content. Basically with two different items. One would be your site plan where you chose your colors and things like that. And with our wireframe. Now we're going to look for our textual content and our images. And we're going to now look at a few different sources where you can find the information. You can come up with your own, or you can use some of what we have here. There's two links that have a variety of images within. The first one has those. And the second one, image 2, has several folders that I put a variety of images, and these are some that you can use on your website. Alright, so that's where you're going to get some of your images, unless you go out on the internet and find some of your own. And then further down you'll see that we have even text for the first page, or you can come up with your own. But we have everything you need for this website. Now we're going to put it in here. There's two ways to bring images into your editor for using on your page. One is anywhere that you happen to go. Let's go over here, and you can right-click, copy the image, or excuse me, copy the image address, and then paste it into an image line. Now the problem with doing that way is oftentimes the image won't always stay there. So unless it belongs to you, it's best to put the image actually in Glitch. And the way you do that is you right click on an image, save the image to your desktop, but I would make an image folder right on the desktop, put all the images you're going to use so that you have them in one place, and then what you'll do is you'll upload them into your asset folder on Glitch. And the way you do that is, it's showing you here, but I will show you on Glitch how to do that. Right up here at the top of these file names is one called Assets. And if you click on it, you can put any amount of images by dragging and dropping. And on my desktop I have a group of random images for websites. And I'll show you by putting the scorpion image up there. Once an image is in, then all you do is left click on it, copy the URL, and go back to your page, and then you can paste it into your image line. First of all, let's go ahead and put a couple of image lines in. Looking at our wireframe, you can see we're going to have a logo image, then a banner, then two regular sized images. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my asset folder, and I'm going to seriously bring some images that I have put aside and that I plan on using on my home page. So I'm going to drag this one to use as my banner image. I have chosen for my logo this one, and then choose two. And make sure that you pick images that represent the two different paragraphs. One is going to be, if you go down here and read the text, one is about calm, relaxing waters, and the other is about rapids. So any of these calm ones would look really nice. And I'm going to pull this one here. So that gives me a banner. Okay, there we go. Next, I'm going to take one of these, or this first one here, I'm going to take this and copy and paste this image line. And it doesn't matter if it has the wrong image, but I'm going to put it in 4 different places on my index page. One, where it says the logo will go. I'm just going to copy and paste it. The next one, where the banner will go. Oops, right there. First comes the text, then comes the image. So in this first section, the second one will be the image. And then in the second section, the first box will be the image. All right, that's where all my images will go. Then what I do is I go back to my asset page, click on my logo, copy it, paste it into the logo, make sure you're in the right spot. Now notice it's very long, but that's okay. And then I'm going to make sure that it says, for the alt name, logo. Do not need a long, elaborate alt name. Go back here to the assets page and grab the one that I plan on using for my banner and put that in the second right here. And I'm going to change this to banner. And now I'm going to get my two section ones, the COM one. And the last one. The whole idea with today is to get everything on the page. This one's going to be rapids. Now, if we go back to our page and actually look at it, it's going to have a ginormous picture up there, and two others, this at the top. Ooh, it's starting to have things on it. It's telling us to make the 3 pages that we plan on making. The rest of your list are your other 2. Right now we have the About Me page that you made for week 1, and that's fine. It can come off later. But I'm going to copy this and paste it 2 times. Those are going to be the 3 pages for this. And I've made my pages that I'm going to make rivers and rates. But I'm going to leave it index.html for now since we haven't made the page. And the other one I'm going to make when I make my site, About Us. There. Now, back over to step 11, and I'm going to fill in, and the headline is actually on the wireframe. So if we look over here, it's called We Run Rivers to Relax. And so I'm going to type in that very same, or you can make your own. But it tells you what the first one should be. All right, next comes a paragraph. And we're going to, I'm going to use what they have here, so I'm going to copy and paste this paragraph. In the P area. Now, if you do type it in, when you get to the end of a line, do not press return. Otherwise, you'll leave big gaps in it and it'll show up as big gaps. So just copy and paste that. That finishes the first section. The second section, the headline is We Run Whitewater for the Rush. It can be something like that, or it can be your own. And then, of course, it is followed by a paragraph. So I'm going to copy that paragraph over here. And the third section does not have an image. It just has a headline and paragraph. And the headline is Come Run With Us. And here's the text for the last section. All right, well, that finishes the main section. Now, what we're going to put in the footer for today is what I call the info line, because it is going to have a copyright symbol And the last part we want in there is you're going to name your business and the year on the same line, and it's going to have your name, so it's your info line. But you're going to put the year first, whatever year you happen to be in, followed by the name of your business. Now up in the title, I put Rolling Rapids, so that should be the same thing that goes down there. All right, and there you go. There's my info line at the bottom. On the right side is where our social media links will go, and we'll be putting those on the next video. Please don't try and size your images yet. Just everything should line up over here on the left side at the end of this session. And then you're going to share it with me on the next page. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy coding!